What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the garage. I hope you guys enjoyed that last video of the no talk 2-day span of preparation for track and snapping axles. Now I have a reason to really get some new axles and ditch the welded joint axles that are currently on this car. I did not break the driver's side. I broke the passenger side, so I'm gonna upgrade this one first and kind of ride that one out until we can figure out what exactly is that axle made of. Today is wagon day. Actually, I must say right now, this week is dedicated to the wagon. And I have a week now that track is over to get this car ready to drive 400 miles, race at IBOC in Fontana. Then I'm going to be driving it back home. So what I am going to be doing today is tear apart my K-swap, take everything that I need off of this engine, this long block, and transfer it over to the new one right there. And then we can start buttoning up all the other little things, like putting in the brake booster delete and rerouting all the fuel lines, whatever I can, all those small little things, because like I said, we're on a crunch. I got to get moving on this project, and I'm trying to get it maybe fired over Tuesday, late Tuesday into Wednesday, because I want to be sure that I have several days to make sure this car is good before we make this travel. But in just a little bit here, I am going to be hooking up the van back to the trailer. And what I'm going to be doing as of right now is, before I return the van to my, or park it back at my aunt's house and return the trailer to my buddy, I'm going to be putting this car on here and taking it to my friend's barn, and I'm kind of, you know, renting out a spot over there to kind of store the car away for a little bit until we are all squared up with my car, and then we'll bring this back so we could start the right-hand drive process after buying a clip, whenever I buy a clip. But the plan is still to proceed with the right-hand drive conversion, so I want to get this off the yard and kind of out of sight for the time being, because my yard is starting to look like a junkyard. Yep, the R6 is gone. So thanks to my buddy right here, I'm just going to show you his neck down because I don't want to show his face and shit. Clutch right here only has maybe 50 miles. Action clutch stage 3, sprung 6-puck. This thing felt amazing on my car, but unfortunately I didn't get to drive it as much. Hopefully this time around we will put some abuse to it. Right now we're gonna break the flywheel loose and pretty much transfer everything over here. And then I'm gonna change the housing with the water pump. And then I'm also going to swap this intake manifold as well, because this is already modified. And it has a thermal gasket. So I'm gonna take all of this, swap it over here. And I believe on this side, I gotta do the oil filter cooler delete, put the motor mounts back on, and then we could move it over here. But I just realized I need to repair this crack on my subframe, or the separation. So I'm gonna have to hammer it back into place, weld that completely shut, kind of paint over my subframe really quickly, and then we can move the engine in place. So I'm using the previous water pump housing, because it's already chopped on the top as far as the power steering bracket goes, because I'm not going to be using it, and I don't want to cut this one obviously, so that way, you know, I have one to match the power steering pump that I removed from the second engine. But yeah, I cleaned the backside of all of the RTV, or the Honda Bond, and then now I'm cleaning it up. I totally forgot that this had a previous broken 12mm bolt inside the hole for the alternator relocating kit. And when this broke, I pretty much broke the plate with it. And then I had to make this custom one right here to utilize a different hole on the block, so that way I can still bolt my alternator up. This right here cracked across in 3 ways. And while I was working at Tesla, I pretty much beveled it out, took it to the spool gun aluminum welder, welded this completely twice after grinding it down the first time, and it's held up great since. But that broke because this one broke, which caused vibration with the whole tensioner deal on this end, and then broke the bottom side. So got this extracted. Hopefully we can put another 12mm in there, and then I'm going to clean this up, put that all on the new motor, get the trans installed as well. The transmission is cleaned, and then maybe we can put it in there after we weld. Alternator, power steering, AC delete kit installed, and our dilemma right now is I took off the oil cooler right there, and I need to get that the adapter for the oil filter, but it's stuck in this one. As I was buttoning up the oil pressure switch, feed line -3, shield, whatever, and I turned around and all of this oil came out of nowhere. Well, it came from somewhere, but it wasn't there a second ago. I turned around, I did this for like maybe 10 minutes. I turned around and what the fuck? So damn return line was hanging out down there and pretty much dunked all my fucking oil. I want to give a huge shout out to Cesar from NorCal Auto Styles, because it is 11 o'clock and he just came through with some replacement hood pins for the broken arrow catches that I had on my hood. And I had to get some replicas because convenience wise, and it was hella cheap given that I spent a ton of money this last weekend. So these are going to replace the broken ones that are on the hood just so I can latch it down. And again, I want to give a big thank you to Caesar for delivering it on top of that. So I'm going to install that maybe tomorrow or something. You know, it should be fairly quick since I only put like 2 screws on each latch. But this time around, I'm probably going to put all 6 on both sides. So right now I'm gonna install the transmission. As you guys can see, I already cleaned up most of my stuff other than the harness and that box over there, but I'm gonna put the tranny on. Right, what's going on, guys? So last night I didn't get to put the motor in because it was too late to kind of whip out the welding machine to weld the subframe, but I did hammer it in, and right now the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to weld it, and then I'm going to paint it, and then I'm going to put the motor in. But yesterday when I was trying to take out the oil filter holder, I kind of smushed up the threads, so I don't know what happened to the old one, but I had to go buy a new one, and I drove around for a good 2 hours from city to city to find this piece just so I can have it today. When you remove the oil cooler, the factory oil cooler, you have to get this holder to thread back into the block, so that way you can have threads for the oil filter to bolt up to. So I'm gonna Loctite the crap out of this because this was the reason why I lost oil pressure, car shut off early January, and then I stopped driving it because I thought I blew up the motor, but I didn't. Blah 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 blah. Nonetheless, we got the piece we need, and the dealer that I went to has more of it in case I need more. All right, subframe is all done. I used rust converter. I don't know, converter, what the fuck? Rust reformer. Rust reformer. This instantly converts rust to protected paintable surface. So there was slight rust that were right here that was eaten out by the brakes, brake fluid, and I sprayed it on here, got it all, you know, fully covered up after wire brushing it. And then I went over the whole thing with gloss, semi-gloss black, just to get it all nice and uniform. I'm not caring for like bling bling. But as I was sitting here doing this, I kind of realized these suckers are going to be in the way of my downpipe. So let me show you here real quick. Here is my downpipe, and it sits a little higher, about right here or so, right? And then we are very, very close with the heater lines, and I'm gonna have to find a way to like route the hoses around and away from this guy so we don't burn it. So I'm gonna have to figure out, I'm not gonna run the what do you call this, I'm not gonna run the the selector for the hot or cold, and I'm just gonna run some like S shape or 90 shape and bring it underneath so we can get to the heater ports on the block and the cylinder head. There's no AC anyway, so I'm not worried about running cold air coming through my vents. Just heat for whenever I drive at night or if it overheats or something like that. But I did notice this when I was doing it, so hopefully we can figure it all out once we get the manifold and downpipe into place. But yeah, I think I'm kind of ready to get this motor back in here. 'Cause all of me loves all of you. You're my ending, my beginning. Even when I lose, I'm winning. Where's my motor mounts? Man, those VMSs look so good on those slicks on the CRX. Anyways, quick little update here. Got the engine hung, and now I'm gonna try to map everything out, work from the bottom up. Still trying to figure out how I'm gonna go about doing this, but I won't know until I get the manifold up in here with the downpipe so I can kind of see my clearance, and then go buy a hose accordingly. So this time around, my fuel line is feeding from the bottom of the firewall instead of this previous hole where it was coming from. The fuel filter is now a ton shorter. That means I have to build another -6 line to reach all the way down to the bottom right there. I need to get the manifold bolted up so that way I can get the feed line onto the fuel rail and then measure my length to get that filter to reach the -6 at the very bottom over there. And then I can put the motor mount on and get this engine positioned, and then further like move on to everything else that I could. Got the intake manifold all bolted down and all of the injectors ran. The harness is semi-plugged in except over the valve cover because I'm still going to be swapping that out. I'm going to do the fuel line in just a second here, but I kind of want to run this by you guys real quick. So before, I never had my temp gauge working because I had this bootleg DIY thing right here, and I never properly bled out the cooling system. So this temp gauge always read hot. If you guys ever seen a lot of the videos on the wagon in its first earlier appearance on the channel, K-swap, my temp always read hot. Anyways, so I got a brand new hybrid coolant temp replacement sensor, and I have the Mishimoto inline coolant or inline water temperature sensor housing adapter. I'm going to be running this at the bottom hose right here because my plug on the harness H2O is down here at the bottom. So I'm gonna splice into this, put that guy in with the new sensor, and then I'm gonna plug it up right here in hopes of finally reading temperature sensor on my gauge cluster. I also contacted CJS Wiring because he is a buddy of Revline, and I was trying to see if he can contact Revline to see if he has the K-tuned S2000 dash converter in stock, so I can order one and have one before we take it for the drive, so we can dial in the temperature sensor, the gas, and all that other stuff like the speedo, etc., etc. But CJ had several in stock, and he hooked it up. He said he'll send me one, so it'll be here in 2 days. And if you guys want to know what happened to my one that I had in the car before, Dingleberry that sent to me wanted it back, so I sent it back so I don't have to deal with him anymore. But thank you to Carlos for hooking me up, and hopefully we'll get that and dial it all in once the car turns on. And like I mentioned, pray that I finally get temperature reading. Kind of skipped ahead here. The engine bay is starting to look more and more complete. So quick little recap here before I end the night. Got my fuel line made right here. Rear motor mount has been installed. Fuel line has been tightened. Brake line is in. The brake booster is in. and the hydro conversion is in. Everything's all bolted down. It just doesn't have any fluid as of right now. Fuel pressure regulator is installed, return line is put on, and intake manifold, obviously. All of the harness is hooked up except the coil packs, because I need to change the plugs out before I throw the coil packs back on. And then what else did I do? I installed the Mishimoto inline coolant temperature adapter, so now I can read coolant. Got to go to Home Depot tomorrow to get another one of these bronze cap off, so I can block this off and remove this guy completely. I also need to go to Home Depot to buy the rubber grommet that goes under the hardware, so I don't rip out my paint like I did in the past. You can kind of see the indentation right there, and right there. So all that's really left as far as the engine bay goes is the turbo kit and then fluids. I may have a big issue with the downpipe being in the way of these ports, because I got to somehow get these guys to go to here without interfering with the manifold. So I'm gonna have to find some weird S shape that comes out this way under the manifold and then loops around to these guys somehow. I don't know, but we will find a way. We'll route it tomorrow, go to Home Depot and buy parts accordingly. Other than that, simple stuff like plugging up all of these guys once the coil packs are in place. Put this ground on. I made sure I got, oh wait, I lied, the other ground is not on here just yet, but we'll take care of that tomorrow. Is all the small stuff. The main part is the engine is in place. I'm gonna close out this video now because it is about 12:30. These birds chirp same time every single night, so it's kind of like my alarm clock to let me know it's time to close the garage. So the skunk has sprayed this area twice now because he's been trying to reach the cat food, so that means as well it is time to close the garage. One more thing, got my windshield wiper on, my cowl, and my hood, if you guys haven't noticed that just yet, but that's all bolted up. So tomorrow, it's like I said, just buttoning it up. My goal is to turn it on tomorrow, because if it turns on tomorrow, then everything else will fall into place. So tomorrow's goal is to turn on the car. That means the dashboard will be in. That means maybe try to get the clutch bled, the brakes bled, as well as just that too. So progress is definitely better than no progress. I am on a super crunch time, so I'm sorry if some of these videos end up being short or I'm just skipping and cutting to the chase. I am only 3 days away before my trip down to SoCal, so I really just have to hustle. And I hope you guys can understand that I may or may not record, or if I skip any uploads this week, I apologize. But just know that I am fighting time right now, and hopefully next week we will be on regular schedule. So thank you guys for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. The wagon is nearing, and I'm getting more and more excited as the day goes. Be sure to stick around, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Good night.